Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Devil's Advocate Trades Edition on our segment Hard Hats and Hard Truth. Good morning, Michael.
Good morning, Lisa. How are you today?
I'm tired. I have a lot of things going on today. Like today's a busy day, and then I've got my conference that I'm doing this weekend. So
Wicked.
it's busy. And then
That's going to be a
this
good
weekend is
conference.
also Ty's 13th birthday on the 13th. It's a
Nice.
champagne birthday. It's going to be the best year or the worst year of his life.
What was it? Italians think number 13 is good luck? Is it Italians who think that?
Yes. Yes. I actually got to choose the day he was born because he was C-section.
Huh?
But what I said was whatever the doctor says. So this is a really funny story. Tyler is always like, he always rolls his eyes when I tell the story. So for the longest time, I had the biggest crush on Chris Evans since I was like 18. You know who Chris
Who's Chris
Evans
Evans?
is? Captain
No.
America?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. He's in a lot of different movies, and I had the biggest crush on him. His birthday is June 13th.
Mm,
So I said to myself, I'm not gonna pick the 13th because then that's just fucking weird. So I'll let the doctor pick. So I
okay.
said to the doctor, when do you want to go and get Tyler? And he said, well, the earliest is the 13th. And I said, sounds good.
Ha! Can't argue with that one.
So Tyler's always like, my mother chose my birthday on her celebrity crush.
You should, on his birthday cake, you should always put happy birthday, Chris.
You're right. And I get killed by the other one.
Okay.
He came in the other day and he's like, what'd you do this weekend? I watched Red One with Chris Evans and The Rock. And he's like, oh, I see.
So he's game for it. He's game for it.
I'm like, it's not my fault he's in the movie. He's in a lot of
Yeah.
movies.
There's a lot of movies. I didn't know his name. I mean, I have no space in my brain for celebrity, anything, sports, anything. No.
Yeah, I do. My son's sports, I'm celebrities. But that was something I did. I watched so many movies when I was younger. I love movies. And
Hmm?
I'm not a big TV person. I'm more of a TV person now. I like series now. But when I was younger, I watched like so many movies. I could tell you, if you gave me the movie, I could tell you almost any actor that was in it.
Oh, I watched
Yeah.
a ton of movies. Don't get me wrong, ton of movies. A little bit of a, I call myself a cinephile by enjoying the movie. I just don't give a crap about the celebrities at all. I don't care about their life. I don't care about their opinions. I don't care what they do. I don't care what other movies they're in. I just
I don't care
watch the
about their
movie for the
life.
movie.
Yeah, I
Nothing.
don't really care about their life. I pay attention to celebrities because of their range in acting,
Mm.
right? So if someone's like, "Oh, Ben Affleck is in this type of movie," and it's a movie that I'm kind of like, "Well, that's outside of his role," because most of them have a like a niche they fall under where they're really good at a certain character. So
Yeah, like
when
a
they go
typecast.
outside of that realm, I'm always
Mm,
fascinated to watch the movie to see how well they, portrayed the character. Because
mm.
there are some people who are incredibly versatile in character roles, like
I find that
Meryl
especially
Streep.
with comedians.
Yes.
Comedians in a dramatic role always are fascinating.
I was impressed with Jim Carrey when he did 23.
That was an interesting movie. Yeah.
Mhm. So, because he's very slapstick,
Mm.
so anyway, moving
Anywho,
along. So it is June, which is graduation month. May, June is graduation month. And it was interesting because I'm running across a lot of people. I say a lot because it's not something I normally hear when it's graduation, where I'm like, what do you want to do? And most of them are like, take a year off. I want to go to university and be something, you know, instrumental, like a doctor, an engineer, a lawyer. Like, usually that's what I hear.
mm,
But now I'm hearing trades a lot.
good.
Yeah. I wanna go be in trades. I'm gonna spend the summer doing roofing. I'm gonna spend the summer doing electrical. I'm gonna do you know what I mean? I'm gonna spend the summer, go and do concrete. And I'm like,
Yep.
I'm like, I'm gonna tell you something. In trades, it's a lot of times it's about who you know, but if you're in a good trades company, they're gonna start you at the bottom, and you're gonna have to go through all of those slots till you get to where you need to get to. Even if you are doing the education, they still want you to start near the bottom or at the bottom,
Mhm.
doing the grunt work, doing the lifting, the carrying, the digging, the whatever. And the reason is because they want it's first of all, somebody has to do it. Secondly, it builds character in each person. They respect the fact that they started there and then where they end up. And that's something that I've heard from some of the old dogs in industry. I respect and I am grateful for where I am now because I started at the bottom, shoveling, fucking digging holes. It was hard work. And some of them are like, I got into shape real fast. A couple of guys told me they would throw up on site. They were like, we'd throw up. We'd like just go behind the bin or throw up because it's like the work is so hard and it's so hot, right? It's
Yep.
hard. So I was kind of elated to hear that they wanted to do trades. So I always say to people, if you want to do trades, come and talk to me. There's lots of companies that need people like yourself that will start near the bottom and then you can figure out what you want. But then also starting at the bottom, you get to see what everyone's doing and whether or not it's something you want to progress to do.
Yep. Well, there's a huge, I mean, especially in trades right now, there's a huge shortfall. They're saying like they're going to need like 100,000 more employees in the next few years.
Trades needs to be more lucrative. In industries right now, I'm not saying trades isn't, but it's not what it was. People, I mean, you know this, Michael. Well, 20 years ago, more, 25 years ago, you could start on a site and the money that you would make in overtime could fund everything you needed to do.
Yep. Yep.
And now that's not a thing.
Nope. Nope.
So,
Well, I'm finding a lot of
I'm like,
companies they're not pushing overtime, even though there seems to be a big shortfall in trades. A lot of people that I know that are in trades, they're not being asked for overtime because they're just like, no, they just expect you to get more done in your regular day.
yeah,
And that's it. They're just like, we want you to do 14 hours and 10 hours.
yep,
Right. So the expectation of the employer has gone through the roof, but there's a shortfall of employees. So now's the time. Like we're going back to like booming time, right? Like early 2000s, 2010, where as the employee, you have all the power because everyone's looking for someone.
yep,
Now
yep,
they're probably, I mean, a lot of places are over abusing their employees, but this is the time to start negotiating.
right? Like, I don't get it. Like, the stronger your team is based off of the things you're able to offer them
Mhm.
in just even support alone,
Yep.
right? Because I mean, all you're gonna do is burn out your crews.
Yep.
We want 15 hours of work done in an 8-hour day? Get fucked.
Mhm. Yeah. No, you just say it's unreasonable. And you're like, listen, if you're going to be unreasonable, I'll go work somewhere else. It used to be like, listen, I can get somebody by tomorrow. No, you can't. Not right now. You can't. Go ahead.
Yeah.
If I just phone it in for the next week, you're screwed.
Well, and I think that there's too much in my experience, I see a lot of nepotism.
Oh gosh, yes.
And with the nepotism comes people who are placed in roles that they should not be placed in.
Yep.
They
These
should start
second
at the bottom.
generation, third generation companies. Hmm.
Yeah, like, start at the fucking bottom with the rest of them. You got the job because because it's someone you know, uncle,
Sure.
mother, father, brother, whatever the fuck. Like,
Mhm.
start at the bottom, though. Like, why are you coming in and as a manager? Why are you
No
coming
idea.
in for 2 months and becoming a manager and telling a man who's been doing this or a woman who's been doing this for 15, 20 years what to fucking do when you don't even have a clue?
Right. No degree, no skills, no ability to communicate, which is a big one.
Mm. And they don't listen. They don't listen. If I walk onto a site, and I've been in the construction world for 20 years, if I
Mm.
walk into a construction site, I don't know everything. I don't claim to know everything. I
Nope.
haven't been in the trenches in certain areas of construction. So if I'm talking, like, I haven't been in the trenches for asphalt, learned a shit ton about asphalt, but I depend on my experts, which are the
Of
guys
course.
that are doing it.
Yep.
So when I sit down and I have those conversations, I shut up and I listen.
2 ears, one mouth, they say.
So,
Mhm.
and that's where I think that For someone like me, I'm able to, because I mean, like, I have women that will, come on and say, "Oh, this and that and the other thing," and I'm not gonna minimize what they go through because every experience inside of trades is different for every
It's
gender.
all unique.
But
Yep.
for me, of course, I've encountered the old boys club. Of course, I've encountered the misogyny. Of course, I've encountered, the aspects of patriarchy of why aren't you in the kitchen barefoot and pregnant? And I'm like, "Get fucked, bro." But,
You can wear slippers.
I mean, I wear slippers on site
Don't say
sometimes.
that. Don't say that. It's a terrible joke.
Wear slippers on site.
Wear slippers. I've seen it.
So but I mean,
Off
like,
my site. But yeah, I've seen it.
I wouldn't. First of all, I would usually wear steel toes if I'm going into a construction zone, but, I just ignore it
True.
because for the most part, those men, a lot of them are leaving industry. They're retiring.
But
Now, yes, some of their little prodigies are the same, but I find that and I've said it before, you catch more bees with honey than you do with vinegar. Every once in a while, you gotta throw a little vinegar in their eye, you know what I mean? Let them know. But
but is it
for
is
me,
it is it an old boys club? Is it an old boys club? I think it's a fair question to say, is it an old boys club or is it just a clique? Right? Like where they've been friends, the school has been an old boys school for a long time. You bring somebody else in, and that could be another boy, that could be a feminine man, that could be a
well,
woman, that could be a manly woman, that could
it's a
be
great
somebody
question.
who's trans, that could be somebody who's gay, that could be whatever. But if there's a clique and they're all friends and they all hang out, well, shouldn't you have to do something to earn their friendship?
Okay, sidebar. Do you say decal or decal?
Decal.
What?
What's decal? What's a decal?
So you say decal.
Yeah. What's a decal?
We say decals out
It
here
sounds like a tickle.
because I heard you say with the way you said click,
Click,
click, and we
click.
say click,
Well, click is like pressing a button. Click.
but we still say click. It's clicky.
All right. Click, clicky. Sure. Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Listen here, Ontario, you're fucking up our Canadian language.
I don't know. People also say I say bagel weird, so I don't know.
Bagel? You don't say
Yeah.
bagel?
What's a bagel? A bagel is like BAEG. Like it's weird. That would be weird. Bagel. It's bag. How do you say bag? BAG.
We say bagel.
Bag. So do you say big?
It's like yeah, but it's like people who say
Okay.
Toronto or Calgary. We say Calgary, and you guys say Toronto.
I say Toronto. Even living there for years upon years upon, it's Toronto. I'm not
You
lazy. I don't speak in
enunciating the whole
Torontoisms.
thing? You
Have
don't
you
say
heard this new
Toronto?
language? Have you heard this new Toronto language? Like, oh, that's lit fam boy. You're like, oh my, are you speaking English? What is wrong with you? And they're like, I can't find a job. I'm like, did you speak like that at your interview? I wouldn't hire you.
Do you guys
I got to
pronounce
put you in front of people.
Etobicoke differently?
What's up, go?
Okay. Just checking. Winnipeg, Saskatchewan. How you guys say that
No.
shit?
Winnipeg, Saskatchewan,
Just checking,
Calgary,
bro. My
Calgary,
sister-in-law lives
Alberta.
in fucking Ontario, and she says decal, and I always make her nuts because I'm like, "Decals?" And she's like, "Decals," and I'm like,
The decal. Wait. How do you wait? So you say decal. Do you say decaf? Like decaf coffee? Do you say decaf?
"No, we say decaf."
Oh, so why don't you say decal?
Such dick.
No.
Anyways, getting back to your point, yes, I
Yeah.
do agree with you that as things have progressed, there is more of, and I will say this, very clicky on sites. It
Yeah.
is very, however the fuck you said it, but I say
It's the
clicky.
same as an office. It's the same as everywhere, right? Like you're gonna have that happen.
Yep,
People are gonna
yep,
migrate towards people that they like. That's it.
of course, that's normal. Every
Mhm.
industry has it. So I would say that yes, it's turning more into a clickiness than it is into an old boys club, but the old boys club is slowly moving out. And there still is the aspects and the undertones of the misogyny and the patriarchy inside certain industries where they're handing things. Now, here's the thing where most women don't understand, and this is where I want to shed some light. If you're passed over by a male, you feel that it's a passover. But sometimes hindsight is 2020 and you
Right.
really don't want that job. They
Right.
should have it. You're actually better suited. So if you've got a really good employer that pays attention to your strengths, they're
Hmm.
going to place you in the areas where you can continue to flourish with those strengths. So most people are chasing the title
Yep.
and they want the recognition for all of the efforts they've put in. And quite rightly, that's kind of the way we are raised. It's, is that you want, if you don't have the pedigree, you want to be able to establish it by doing
Yep.
all the work that you're doing in order to get there, right? But at the end of the day, what I found is there's some jobs that I've been passed over for, and looking back, I'm like, "Oh, fuck, thank God."
Well, but you say it in the right way. You say some, right? Which is absolutely true. And I've had jobs and I've been passed over some,
Mhm,
right? But the majority, you earn your place, you earn your position, you earn the respect of other people, and you become impossible to pass over. Now, I'm sure there's occasions. I don't think it's the vast majority like people talk about because of victim mentality. Everybody's a freaking victim these days.
yeah,
They're like, oh my God, they didn't pick me. They didn't pick me. Congratulations. You're the worst at dodgeball. You're the last one picked. All right. Get better at
mhm,
dodgeball. Or maybe dodgeball's not your thing. Do you think that
yeah,
that's maybe an option? Like, I don't know. This victim mentality crap, I don't subscribe to it. I don't generally believe it,
mhm,
right? If somebody says like they passed over me because of whatever reason, right? I'm like,
mhm,
or maybe they just don't like you. Like it could be something just as small as that. They don't like you. And if you're acting like this outside of work, I guarantee you're probably acting like that a little bit at work. And I'm like, do I want to put you in a higher position with that attitude? Maybe not.
yeah, very true, very true. It still doesn't negate the fact that there are people who obtain some of these roles that should never be in them.
Oh God, yes. Oh God, yes. Yep.
So,
Yep. They're just like, hey,
that's my biggest
congratulations.
gripe.
We share the same last name. The position's yours. But that's
Like,
also, I think sometimes that decision's made because of legacy, right? Somebody wants to preserve their legacy, and the best way to preserve your legacy is keep it in the family, right?
yeah,
Put them through the rigors, right? Like I think it was Tony Robbins who did it. He started giving away all his money like crazy. Like he gave away like 80 or 90% of his wealth. And
mhm,
his kids were like upset, but I want that money. I want the money. He's like, then go earn it. I earned it. You go earn it.
yeah,
So earn
yeah.
it.
Well, and it's interesting because with my kids, so I was sitting there and my son's so funny. He's like, "Mom," he's like, "Dad's other half asked me if I was gonna grow up to be a landscaper." And he's like, "Fuck no."
Why
And I'm
not?
like, Well, I know that.
Mm,
He's not gonna work for me, and he's not gonna work for his father for 2
right.
reasons. Number 1, he wants nothing to do with either one of us in business.
Mm,
Smart kid. And secondly, he wants to be a sports med.
sure.
So why would you and this is something I really love about my son, and it's very eye-opening for me, is that,
Yep.
when he sits there, because I mean, a lot of parents, it's the easy way to go work for mom and dad. It's easy money, you get the good salary, blah, 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 you're put in charge, there's expectations, but, and
Wasn't for
people
me.
sometimes sidestep their gifts and what they really wanna do because of the company business or because of the family businesses. And
Right.
for me, I'm like, it's my job to employ people for my own company. It's my job to make my company continue to be viable. It's your father's job is the same.
Right.
So when it comes to our children, and he's got other children, but when it comes to the children, you can say, yes, there's availability, but you've got to start from the bottom and work your way up. And furthermore, I don't think if a kid says, I want to be sports med, the last thing I do is say, come work for me. I'm going to say, while you're in college, if you're not playing college ball,
Mm,
go get a part-time job at a bar. You make pretty good money as a bartender. Go get your, I think it's a serving license or certificate or whatever.
I
Go do
would
that.
I would I would shift that a little bit because if you're going to learn business and skills, and because I mean business skills are transferable from one industry to the other to the other to the other.
Okay.
Who's the best to learn from, right? If your parent has that capability of communicating with you well, which I know you do with your kids, you've got a great ability of communicating with them well, taking care of them, always pushing them to their maximum, right? Without abuse, right?
Mhm,
So if you can have that capability to teach your kids and employ them and they
mhm.
can make money while making you money and they're learning these skills and be able to put it to good use, I think that's fantastic. I would much rather work with family if that relationship can exist doing it that way than learning from a stranger, especially being younger. Like I was happy that I worked with my dad when I was younger. It was not easy. I did not get paid well. I did not automatically move up. I didn't get any of that. Had to start at the bottom. You're a laborer. Go get this. Go get that. You're a gopher. Go for this. Go for that. Go for that. Clean it all up.
But that doesn't happen anymore, Michael. We
Well,
all
but what I'm
started from
saying,
the bottom with our
okay,
parents.
but maybe it does. But maybe it does. We can't just be naysayers on the whole of the industry, right?
Mhm.
So, but maybe it does. So, like, if you hired your kids, do you think that would happen? No. So obviously, we know that there's situations where it doesn't happen. So there can be a positive there can be a positive element to that. Like, say for example, the nepo baby, right? That gets put into a position, they go into management right away. How do you know that for 10 years before they even started working, that they weren't spending every single night with their parental figure,
Mhm.
learning everything about the business to know the exact implementation? That's also entirely possible.
Yeah.
But that's not something that's discussed because it didn't happen in the business. So nobody saw it. But that should probably be a conversation to say, like, hey, listen, I've been training and grooming them this whole time to go directly to that position. Because to run a business, you don't have to know how to dig a hole. You don't have to know how to pull a wire. You don't have to know how to do duct work. You don't have to know how to put a shingle on to run a business. You
Mhm.
don't need any of that. That's why you have tradies. You have the tradies to go out and do it.
Fair. And I'm not saying that I wouldn't give my kids, if my kid said to me, I want to start my own business, I wouldn't sit down and help them with business plans. I wouldn't sit down and help
Of
them
course.
how to run their back and front, understanding overhead, why it exists, how many they need, how much money, excuse me, they need to start up all of that. Absolutely. I would sit down and have those conversations with my children and let them know.
Right.
To me, that's, you should never gatekeep knowledge.
Ew.
So I agree with you on that. But what I'm saying is that if my children don't want to work for either parent, I'd never push
Fine.
it.
No,
You know what I
no.
mean?
Yeah,
I would
can't push
ask
a rope.
them. Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course I asked Tyler. I said, babe, when you get older, do you want to help mom with social media and maybe go and spend a summer over with Michael so he can teach you all the different things? I'll buy you a nice big laptop and and he'll show you all the programs you need to do and you can do all that. Do you want to do that? And he's like, nope.
No,
Okay.
he's got a goal.
Might
He's
change
got a
his
goal.
mind. Only turning 13. Might
That's
come hang out
I
with
mean,
Michael and Julie.
I always thought a police officer, right? I'd be a police officer or
Me
military,
too.
and I never did. I said, well, I did the testing, and that didn't go well because you have to test within a certain range, plus or minus, if you're above or below. Yeah.
No,
So
you're crazy.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm not going to say if I was above or below.
That's funny. That's one thing I didn't know about you. So
Mm,
you wanted to be a cop. So did I. I have background I have all the education background for being a police officer.
mm,
That's what I wanted
yeah.
to do too. I wanted to be K9 unit.
Specifically, yeah.
Mhm. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be K9 unit. And I remember because I drew it when I was in grade 1 and that was my goal. And when I got to college, I did all of the police so we call it poli sci, so police studies. I did
Same
the
here.
extended certification, I did mechanicals training, I was in the gym all the time, I was training for the pair. I did all the things I wanted to do. And then as I was in school, I had my prof come up to me and be like, you probably won't be a good cop. And I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh,
Mm,
why?" And I was like,
thanks for the vote of confidence.
I was genuinely upset, but then when he sat down and had the conversation with me and he was like, "Walk with me over here." He's like, "Don't get me wrong, Lisa." He's like, "You're incredibly intelligent, you're smart, you're driven, you're determined." He's like, "But you don't do well with authority, and being an officer means you have to ride inside of government." And he's like, "You are not that person. You are a
No.
vigilante at best. You will end up being a rogue cop." And I started laughing and I was like, I'm like, not that I want to be rude because you've seen this 1,000 times and you've been teaching this course for 20 years. And I'm like, help me understand what you see. And he goes, okay. So he paints me this picture of he's like, what district do you want to be a part of? Okay. He's like, was that the district you grew up in? I said, yes. He's like, first, no, that's mistake number one. And
Yep.
he's like, and he goes, what is it that you, or sorry, he's like, I'm going to paint you a scenario. He goes, what happens if you came in? And he gave me a very graphic scenario. And he's like, what would you do? So the person that has been assaulted, their
Uh,
child has been sexually assaulted. What do you do? And I'm like, I'd fucking shoot him.
right.
And he's like,
Like,
right there.
harass me. Harass me. Right. Yeah.
And he just started,
I just
but
judge
he
dreaded,
laughed.
like that's it. Guilty.
Right. But he laughed because he was like, I knew you would. He goes, because you yourself are so heavily involved in justice. To you, it is not just to bring somebody in knowing that they did it,
Mhm.
only to watch them get released 48 hours later under a technicality.
If that, if that these days.
Yeah. And he goes, there's no way someone with your character would allow that. He's like, criminals would start dropping like flies. And I
Yeah,
was like, isn't that like a public service?
yeah, but like after hours, like
They call me Batman.
it's, yeah, I have the same problem. I mean, I've had to have discussions with judges about it. So, like,
That's why we
I'm
get
just doing a
along,
public
Michael.
service. Yeah.
That's why we get along.
So,
We're both a little cray cray.
yeah.
We both believe very, very. It's interesting because I'm more a hero. You're more a villain, right?
Yep.
You'll take out everybody for one, whereas I'll take out one for everybody,
Mm,
right? So this is where we're kind of different. It's just like, but at the same time, we're both very much about justice.
yeah.
So we want to see the person who's hurt someone, who's hurt people or hurt the person we love, come to justice, not a legal system,
Mm,
justice. So
yeah.
that's where you and
Just,
I understand each other.
yeah. I listen. For me, it's all about my GFF, my girl, my family, my finances. You screw with one of those, expect what you're going to expect. And I'll tell it
Yeah.
to you straight to your face. This is what I'm going to do.
Hmm.
That's it. I don't care. I'm not threatening violence necessarily. I mean, there are times like, like
You're
if you're
educating.
out, I'm educating, right? So first I'm going to destroy you with words. If you want to push that a little bit farther, well, then it's FAFO, right? And so, which has happened, right? Somebody's hitting a girl in the middle of the street. I have no quips or qualms. Not even 1 second. My brain's already made up. Like that's it. I'm not going
Hmm.
to be like, hey, break it up. Nope.
Yeah. I tell people when it comes to my children, like I'm mugshot ready.
Yep.
I am selfish enough not to do anything. So what keeps me on the straight and narrow for violence and all that jazz, because I mean, I was a fighter, but what keeps me on the straight and narrow is the possibility of going to jail and the people that need me, my kids, having to deal with somebody else because I made a poor choice. So that's where I say there's not a lot that people could do to really rile me, in the sense of like it takes so much for you
Mm.
to actually get me to swing on you. But fuck with my kids and
Well,
I'm mugshot.
that's why I hate the phrase, like, I would die for that. I would die for that. Ah, you know what? I would live for that. I would live for that.
Hmm.
Right. And it's a different way to think. Like, I wouldn't sacrifice myself for something because then that's it. Any more good that I can do is gone. Right. So definitely you don't want to put yourself in that type of position. Right.
So
But I'm not afraid of what doors could be forcibly opened by me or by somebody else by making what I feel is the right decision at the time.
fair. So here's a fun fact. So I got this question asked to me. I'm going to ask you, and then I'm going to tell you what my response is.
Uh-oh.
If you come into your home and
Mhm.
you are swarmed by a whole bunch of um, people, men, whatever, that have guns and they have red, and they say the only way out of this is you got to shoot her. What do you do?
Do everything I can and then buy a shovel.
But they have a gun to your head. They have multiple guns to
Do
you.
everything I can and buy a shovel. No, I'm not doing that. No, no.
Okay.
Because
So I got
listen,
the
there's a chance I could win. That's enough. I don't care if it's 0.00001. There's a chance, but I'm not going to take somebody I love's life. No way.
but they didn't say kill. They said shoot.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. The intent and impression is there, and that's an instant decision. As that sentence is coming out of their mouth, I'm already in action.
So for me,
Mm.
as a female, if that happened to me and it was my kids, I would shoot them in the arm, the leg, the shoulder.
And then, so you think this scenario would be like, yeah, that's exactly what we meant.
No, but it's just a question. Everybody's different. There's no right or wrong response. To me,
My
I'm
technical answer would be perfect. Give me a gun. Show me there's one bullet in there. And as soon as I have that gun, one of them's going down. I don't
Yeah.
care which one.
Yeah. So for me, I'll tell you what I worry about is this is where it gets different for men and women for the most
Mm,
part. Um, what I fear is I would rather shoot my child in a part of their body that's going to do minimal damage.
mm.
Because they didn't say kill, they said shoot. Number one. Number two, I get nervous about the fact that if I try to fight all these people and I die, what are they going to do to my kids? Right? That's my biggest concern. Like, are you going to kill them? Fuck. It is what it is.
What are
But
they going
are
to do
you going to
anyway? What are they going to do anyway? So I think this is a very big difference between the male and female brain. So the
Yeah.
female brain will try to work around the problem, figure out the problem, blah 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 blah
Yeah.
blah, sort it out, think it out, blah blah blah. And very analytical, which is great.
Mhm.
Man sees a problem, destroy it, kill it, shrink it, and if none of those things work, forget about it. That's it. There's nothing else to do.
Michael turns around, walks out. Fuck this shit. Grabs a beer out of the fridge.
Like this is a dumb game. Maybe. I mean, we're not in that scenario, but you have to do that in life, right? Sometimes, like that's all the problems are. Like, how many times have it happened in a relationship? And I've had it where, like, I've been the man, obviously, and she's the woman, and she comes up with a problem. I go, oh, just do this, 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 this. And they're like, but you're minimizing it. I'm like, no, you came with a problem. I go, this is what I would do with the solution. That's it, done. And they're like, but hang on, but what about the feelings? What about I don't know.
Fuck your feelings.
I don't know. You didn't lead with the feelings. You just said, here's the problem. I went solution,
Yeah.
what I perceive as the solution, and that's it. I mean, if you want to keep hashing it out, cool. I mean, we can get a whiteboard, we can draw it out, right?
It's fair. I mean, it's fair. I
Unless
mean,
it's a
yes, men
feeling
tend to
based
be
problem,
very
then I'm like, I also don't know.
yeah, you guys are very like ABCD, whereas we're
Mm,
like A, A1, A2, A3.
that's right. Hang on. Did we finish talking about A? Can we just go back to that for real quick?
Loop back, circle back.
Yeah.
I get that. He says that to me all the time. He's like, you and your fucking circle backs. I'm like, listen, I need to beat everything with a dead horse and then I'm good.
It was a kind of a poor design on the male, female, whoever, however this happened. It was a poor design to be like, you're going to think this way and you're going to think this way.
Yeah. But I think that's what complements both of the sexes, right? Because
It
the
can.
female is going to take consideration in certain aspects that the male might not, and vice versa. If you have a male that's got that type of analytical thinking and a female that's very just so either way, a lot of those times, those are the people that find each other. Like I've been on the phone with you and Red, and she will agree with me, well, you won't. And I'm like,
Yeah.
this I needed the
And
female.
we're totally okay with it. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, like if we disagree, we're like, all right, cool. We have differing opinions.
Agree to
All right.
disagree. And that's the best way to be. Some people will say that's, they don't like the term agree to disagree, but to me, I do. I like the term agree to disagree because you know
Yeah.
what it means? It means that I accept what you've said. I've heard it. I
Yeah.
can't get behind it, but I appreciate that you brought it to my knowledge so that I know that's how you feel, which means that I'm going to pick and choose my conversations with you at that time
Yeah.
or next time because I already know how you feel about it. So unless I want to have a fight with you or I want to get into some big ass debate where I'm going to hurt my own feelings probably, then
It won't be
I'm
mine.
going to right? Yeah,
It
we
won't be
know. You
mine.
and your 5 feelings. We know.
That's it. Yeah. Mr. Roboto. Mr. Roboto. Yeah.
Tomo
My own
origato,
internal
Mr.
feelings are really just
Roboto.
for me. That's it. They're
Yeah.
not for anybody else. They're not for outside sources. They're for the privacy of my home inside the relationship, and that's it. The feelings don't need to go elsewhere.
So what are you saying? You cry in the shower like every other adult?
Right. Actually, what really gets me is lately over the last 5 years
Mhm.
is the emotional arc movies. So things like The Notebook, for example, great example. Like at the ending, where it's the older couple, and you're like, oh, like those happy, saddy type moments,
Mhm.
right? Or men crying at a funeral. I say I'm done. Like watching a man weep, that'll get me every time.
I know, but me too. If I see a male crying where it's this is gonna sound so horrible. When it's legitimate emotional, like it's not I'm
Yeah.
trying to be in my victim lane. I'm trying
No.
to, manipulate you because there are males that do it
Hmm?
and I can pick it out. But when it's a genuine response,
Hmm?
do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Where it's
Someone's
uncontrolled.
died,
Like you're just like,
you're
it just
overwhelmed.
comes from
Yeah,
nowhere.
yeah.
Right? Like with it being Men's Mental Health Month, I'm sure a lot of guys can identify this where you're just driving along on an idle Thursday evening, heading home from work, and you just remember a scenario and your eye gets wet. It's not cry, it's not a tear, it's just that well of emotion that we sure most of the time we stuff it back down. But that well of emotion that just comes from somewhere and you just needed that little just a little bit of a break.
Mhm.
And that's it. There's been lots of dudes that are just like, yeah, I mean that's happened. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
We just need that break. And it's something nobody really shares with each other because guys don't share. That's why we have this problem that we have
Mhm.
globally.
Wow. It is Men's Mental Health Month, and you did a wonderful song for that.
Yeah. And I really wanted to be specific because everybody's like, oh, it'll get easier. It won't. I'm gonna tell you, no matter how many times you talk about it, it never gets easier. Whether
So
you're
people could go
10 years
listen to
old
that song.
or 100 years old, doesn't get easier.
Yeah, there's 2 songs that you do that I really like. I mean, you do lots of them, but the 2 that I really like is, Villain, the Villain one.
Yeah.
So and the other one is this Men's Mental Health one that you did. Very
Yeah.
powerful.
Yeah. The mask on tight. Yeah.
What's it called?
Mask on tight.
Mask on Tight, that's it.
Yeah. Like we wear it so close to our face, we just look like this.
It's not wrong.
You can't
I think
see it.
everybody should go listen to it. They can find it on TikTok
Yep.
under Dynamic
Dynamic
AI,
AI hub. Yeah. Dynamic AI hub or royalty free AI music. I don't know.
royalty-free
Something like that.
music. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, they should go check it out because it is like you do pour a lot of your, I will say, heart and soul into your music because it's an expression, right?
Well, they're
And
my
it's
journals
the way
rewritten.
you
All I'm doing is taking my journal entries and I'm rewriting them into music. And so for me, it's
Mhm,
just an expression. So a lot of it's AI, right? So the music all AI, some of it's AI voice, some of it's me singing, right? But I don't do a lot of that anymore because I don't have time. But so that one is the most recent
mhm,
one. So the Mask
mhm.
on Tight is, which was it took me probably 3 hours to get it right because like as I'm doing it, I'm like, oh, and I'm remembering why I wrote these things,
Mhm.
right? Because it is a reminder that again, it doesn't get easier.
No.
So that means you actually have to go talk to somebody. I don't care who that is. You can talk to yourself in the mirror, but sometimes don't believe yourself.
It's true. I mean, but then you can talk to yourself, but at the same time, you're not getting the same bounce back, right? You're not getting
Nope.
somebody who's saying, "Are you sure you're not being a little hard on yourself?" Because you make
Mhm.
up your own mind. And if you get yourself into this realm of negativity and depressive state, how do you pull yourself out? Even looking in the mirror, how do you really pull yourself out? Because all you're going to do is then start picking at everything else that's wrong with you because you're already in that mental headspace. So for me, I've always been someone that runs around and asks different people.
Mhm.
Always. Like
But
I've
I've
talked to
always thought,
you, talked to my other half, I talked to, you know what I mean? Like I have different people that I'll call up and have the conversations with. Some people, and then I always say, like, I have different types of people in my world. Michael, you're gonna have a good laugh at this. If I want someone to jump on my fucking bandwagon because I want to throw a pity party, I have the friends that I know I will call up
yeah,
for that.
yeah,
If I want someone to tell me brass tacks truth, I have the friends that will do that. You're one of them, Greg's one of them. And then if I have somebody who just as a sounding board listens, that tends to be the other half.
right.
And 'cause I'm always like, "What do I do?" "I don't know. Do whatever you want. You always do."
He's not entirely wrong there.
Uh, I still wanna hear what he has to say. Do you know what
Yeah,
I mean? It's not even like I feel like on some level he feels it's like a competition, like he's gonna tell me something and then I'm gonna do the complete opposite just to fucking prove him wrong, but it's not. So it was in the beginning, it was in the beginning. But now it's just, okay, he sees this, I wanna see what he sees. Now I'm more intrigued at the fact that he can see things that I don't because I'm such a, like, a forgiving soul. I'm like,
yep,
"Oh, not everybody's like that," and if you get tainted and you treat people a certain way,
yep.
then you're never gonna find the diamonds out there,
I
right?
usually, when somebody comes to me with a problem, like usually it's in this significant other space, right? So they come over with a
Mhm,
problem. I usually make the problem bigger because if you're like, listen, if I go to give you a solution, I know where that goes because then I'm minimizing it,
mhm.
right? So I make the problem bigger. Like, oh, Deborah at work did this. I'm like, well, fucking fuck Deborah. Let's go to her house and like burn down her house.
"Oh, let's take it easy here, slow down."
Like, whoa, 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 whoa. Well, that's too far. And then you're like, okay, well, what's the worst? And then I think about scenarios like if you're in a bad scenario, think how much worse could it get? Could it get
Yeah.
a little bit worse? A lot worse? Life ending worse?
Yeah.
Right? And our lifestyle ending first. And then, think about how far that can still go.
Yeah.
So you're probably not down as far as you think you are.
True.
I'll tell you, I've been homeless. Did it stop me? Nah, no, it sucked. I'll tell you, it sucks.
Yeah.
Sleeping outside in the middle of winter in Vancouver, not nice. Not
No.
nice. Sucks. Right? You gotta
Vancouver in the middle of winter is not that bad. What are you talking about?
It's wet. You're always wet. And I tell you, when you're wet,
Yeah.
that not so
Makes
cold
you different cold.
feels very
Cold to the
cold.
bone. Yeah.
Cold to the bone. Like you cannot shake it for like weeks. You can't
Yeah.
shake it.
Easy to get hypothermia when you're in the areas that
Especially
have a
when you
lot of
have no food
that
in your
humidity.
belly. You got no money coming in. You got to try to figure it out.
But that didn't you didn't
So,
stay like that for long, Michael. I mean, you're always a go-getter.
like 2 months. 2 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2
Yeah.
months is a long time for anybody who's homeless. I don't care who you are. People will be like, "I've been homeless for years," and I'm like, "Yeah, but you had to get through the 2 months and make a decision."
Yeah. Well,
Is
no,
2
it
months
was working
new?
towards it the whole time. But it's funny. I had enough money to get a place within a month. Right. So I mean, it was a series of bad decisions that I made being young and stupid. Right?
Well,
And thank God
at
it
least
didn't
you
land
admit
me in
it.
prison forever, right? But okay, that's where I ended up. That's my punishment. Take my lumps, invest, right? Doing the labor ready thing every day that I can get in there. You're going in at
Yeah.
3 o'clock in the morning. You're waiting for the door to open. You're sitting there all day. Hopefully something happens, and you sit there all day whether or not something happens or it doesn't,
Mhm.
right? But then I got enough money. But then it's like, okay, well, how do you get a place where they're like, well, where are you moving from? Under that bridge? And they're like, "Oh, well, we can't rent to you," right? So like it's hard, right? And then so like,
Yeah.
okay, finally found a motel that I get enough trust, blah blah blah. And so yeah, it
Yeah,
was it was a
it's a
really wild
process.
experience. Yeah,
Yeah, it's a process. Good for you for coming out of it
but
and
that's
doing so
but
well.
that's
You've
what
done
leads
very
me to
well.
all my volunteering that I do now, right? It's just like handing out food to the homeless, that type of stuff. I love doing it, right? Because
I know.
hopefully somebody will
You
find
give
that
back a
way
lot,
out.
Michael. You give back a lot.
Mm,
Makes you a good person, but like you said, when you've been on that side, you get it.
Yep. There's always further
We're just
down,
good at
so
the
don't believe you're at the end. I tell you what, if you have a mirror to look into, your life ain't that bad.
You what?
If you have a mirror to look into to talk to yourself in a place that you live in, it ain't that bad.
Not wrong.
It ain't that
Yes,
bad.
people have to be grateful for the things they have around them.
Yep.
No, regardless of how much or how little they have, they still have it.
Yep. Practice
Yeah, I agree
gratitude
with you.
because then
I
if you
agree with
practice
you.
gratitude out, I think you get it back. You reap what you sow.
Agreed. Agreed. I agree with that 100%. Okay, we got to wrap up. We're 42
Oh my
minutes.
gosh. Over 40 minutes again.
I know. It was good conversation.
I know.
Things
I know.
people need to hear. Okay. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you, Lisa.
Okay, everybody, have a wonderful week or weekend because we're coming into the weekend now. And catch you guys on the flip side and don't do anything crazy.